collective reading. I've already cleansed and purified the space, but you will hear some loud sounds. I've prayed over the cards and we're going to get right into the reading. Calling Creator through unconditional love. May this reading be in the light and connected to all that will receive it through unconditional love, that will elevate their golden path, their purpose, their relationships, and full faith. Amen. Creator, we ask for our egos to be suspended, that we hear with our soul and our spirit, and we get the most guidance, nourishment, and love from this reading. Okay, so I'm going to start it out with the four corners. That came right out. West, Isis. Mother Mary. What do we want to read about the collective for July? I felt guided to pray at the beginning of this reading, although I always pray in the circle and before I read anyway, but felt guided to read on camera because I felt the Holy Spirit. I felt the holy fires coming through. And you'll notice I kept the Phoenix card out from June because it's still Phoenix season. Phoenix season is going to go all the way into fall. So we're all going to be at varying levels of our Phoenix stages, but it's a huge time of transformation. It came in right before the 7-7 gateway and the June moons. So, okay, and then we have East, Kuan Yin, Tai Chi rising. What's going on for the collective, Creator? Blessings for the collective this July. Beautiful. Let's bring in dragons. For each. Oh. Is that north? South. South was Mary Magdalene. Sensitivity. I'm going to pull that out. West. Oh. And East. Dragon magic for East. All right. Okay, so let's start north. Okay, so here we have Holy Fire, Mother Mary guiding us in the north, and she has dragon magic of Sunshine Yellow Dragon. So people are on fire right now, like literal holy fire lit up. Inspiration, transformation. You are just really either transforming right now or you're on fire with creativity and you're coming into divine timing and everything's just aligning for you. Now, going to be various stages of light workers finding this reading and finding this channel. And even if you didn't find it in July when it's channeled, these transformations, energy doesn't have time and space. Time runs in a spiral. So when you find this reading, this is your sign that you've just come through a major gateway or portal of activation. Now, on the enlightenment path, there's different levels and stages. So some of you might have just had your first awakening and you're starting to explore all of this side of you, of your spiritual side, of your inner depths. You might have come through some trauma and challenges to get there because that's usually how we're led. And you are just really coming into your own if you are already further along the spiritual path. You are literally just on fire right now. You're coming into divine timing. If you've already been doing this for years, if you already know a lot of your spiritual identity, you've already recovered a lot of your soul, you are merging more into that. You are merging it into the physical. You're birthing spiritual to the physical realms right now. And you're playing around with the energetics. And this might be after a period of time where you had a lot of like almost a hermit phase where you just worked on yourself, grew what you're trying to build, grew into more of who you are, got to know yourself so deeply. And you've created this unshakable foundation of magnetism, of strength, of beauty, and of a palpable energy transformation that people are going to feel. Now, at varying levels, Mother Mary's come to help you deal with this in the matrix 3D, because that could mean different things. If you've cultivated enough holy fire and you're further along the path, you could be triggering people. You could be catalyzing people. You could be catalyzing them into their own awakening, which is going to happen as you cultivate more holy fire in your system, in your field. But it also creates this protection of love around you, because when you get to other levels of enlightenment, you move from the I heart, where it's just I, me, to the we heart, where it's like, we as a community, I want the best for all of us. How can I share what I'm doing with you? But I also have boundaries, or your suffering isn't my suffering, but I'm more than happy to share my resources and wealth with you if you want to come up here and do the work and take ownership and onus for your own position, your own wounds, your own traumas, and responsibility for your own energy. Now, if you've just awakened, this holy fire is just probably burning up a lot of things in your life, relationships that aren't serving you, things that you thought were your identity and they've just been ripped away, and you've just come to this realization of like, oh my gosh, this was nothing that I wanted. So if you're in those levels, that's also part of the Phoenix stage of burning up. You are going to be comforted by Mother Mary's energy. She's here to help you through that. She's here to gentle the confusion that sometimes this can create, and she's here to help you atone your frequency in your mind so that you can understand consciously what's going on with you and evolve spiritually, so your language will evolve. And you're going to be an ignition point for people, like I said. So either everything you are desiring, everything you've been trying to manifest is going to be magnetized to you because you've ignited holy fires within your system in a usable way from all the work that you did, or you've ignited holy fires in your system to purify your life, and you're going to still be being drawn into opportunities in a different way that are going to keep being initiations and challenges for you to grow out of old patterns. We're at a point in our evolutionary period with all the energy coming on the planet and all the people doing the work and all the love that's been anchored here, that blinders are being ripped off, blocks to love are being ripped off, and it's just go time. Like, light workers are being called, and a lot of light workers have been feeling the frequencies and knowing this for a while, but they have not been doing anything with it, or they've been stuck, or they've been paralyzed, or they've been burdened by the heaviness of the energy of the collective, and all of that's lifting here. The fires are helping purify you, give you courage of heart, give you bravery, but they're also helping you connect to your spiritual tools, gifts, resources, and technology that you came down here with, so that you can use those to up-level your life and up-level the lives of others, and feed or birth onto the planet what you were meant to birth onto the planet and why you are here. Everyone has a unique gift that they offer, and that's what is merging out of these fires, okay? The fires of purification, the fires of birth, the fires of cleansing, primordial fires, Holy Spirit. Now, if you're really struggling, that's another way of holy fire, is the Holy Spirit. Call in the Holy Spirit. You are not the purifier. You are always innocent, no matter what you've done. If you're really in your first stages of awakening, there could be a lot of guilt and shame and beating yourself up and playing small, and you're called to co-partner with Creator. You're called to call in the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is within you. It's the purifier. It's the restoration of love within your system. You can bring anything to it. You can say, like, I feel so guilty, or I can't forgive myself, or this is looping in my head and I want peace from it. Holy Spirit, come help me. Because another way the matrix keeps us stuck is that we think we need to do everything alone, or we've been disappointed over and over again by other humans in our experience, that we've come into this hyper independence where we won't let anybody help us. We won't let love in properly because it's easier to just rely on ourselves. And all of that is ending right now. There is still an individual path that we'll be following, and an individual strength that we will always be building in this Aquarian age. That's part of it too. But there's going to be interdependence and interconnection and restoration of community. And that's also what I see here. So if you've been in a really hyper independent cycle of not allowing help in, that's where this yellow, sunshine yellow dragon magic comes in. Now, I don't have time to go over all the dragons in this video, but there's different types of dragons. There's physical dragons, there's etheric, like star dragons, there is dragons that predominantly work with light codes. This dragon magic is phenomenal, and there's so many different types. And so sunshine yellow is actually a blend of starlight dragon and physical. And you can see here there's animals on this card, and it's going to talk about connecting to animals. And a lot of you that have been on that hyper independent path might have animal friends, even more than human friends. Or those of you that are further along in your spiritual journey, you might have your familiars and you might have your spirit animals incarnated with you on this experience to just help you be strong, move forward, give you unconditional love, empower you, and teach you. My spirit animal, she teaches me. She's incarnated with me since I was a kid, many different animals, from when I had wolves when I was young to the cat that I have now. So I want you to just really look around at your animal friends, your fur babies, and really sense and see, maybe if you're just on your new awakening, if this is a familiar for you, if this is a spirit animal guide that has come to help you, and just really give appreciation to that. But also, since this is a collective reading, what I'm also seeing in this card is that we're being called to help animals. We're being called, they don't have a voice. They don't have anyone to speak up for them. And I'm not going to go PETA on you here, but because I still believe in, like, there are animals for food, and there's a balance of all of that nature that I believe God has created, that humans have of course corrupted because we're so intense. We have to just control everything, and if spirit's out of the picture and egos are doing it, it's like that much more amplified and worse. But we also need to protect animals. We also need to speak up for them. We also need to speak up for their environments, their habitats. Look at all the whales coming out to touch people right now and to come help them, like, or to come call on them. You know, animals are calling for us to help them now because, like, it's just too much. And even, like, in regards to you and healing, how you can help the environment and animals is, like, without also going into all that global warming mythology stuff that they're trying to spew on people. You cleaning up your body, you taking care of your temple, you making sure that you, if you can compost in your area, compost, making sure that you recycle, making sure that you leave like a less of an imprint. You know, when I eat chicken, I make bone broth, and I try to use it up. I try to support local farmers so we're not wasting, and we're voting with our dollars so that we're not eating chemical laden foods, and that we're not supporting violent slaughter of the food we are consuming. There's just ways that you can clean up your whole way of interacting with this matrix environment that helps animals, that helps the environment. And part of that is going to be the holy fire, because the holy fire brings down light codes, and it's going to help you. And how it helps you is if you're ready to receive it, if you want to receive it, if you intend to receive it, it will show up and help you. The thing is, we have free will, and Creator loves us so much that Creator's not going to usurp free will. So if you ask for help, are you letting it in? If you're on a spiritual path and you're doing a lot of integration and awakening practices, are you letting in the support that's coming to you from that? Are you working at home to expand your energy, but then going out and playing in the matrix and staying in super small containers, and then having a lot of challenges, a lot of abrasions, a lot of pushback, a lot of negative feedback from your environment? You know, like, those are signs that you've outgrown that environment, and you need to up your self-confidence and up your courage and up your bravery, and start just going and doing things before you're ready, but getting out there and doing your actual purpose, and stop being involved in all the drama and in loops of the same kind of stuckness and get out there and believe in yourself and make what's inside of you happen. And while you're doing that, care for the environment, care for the animals, care for everything, and make everything sacred. Make everything sacred. What is sacred? It means you treat it with love. It means that you treat it with respect. It means that you treat it with meaning. So make everything count. Make everything with conviction, like you mean it. And show that you love yourself by loving the environment. We love our home. We love our temple. We love our body. And I know that's easier said than done, but some of you know what I'm talking about because you're on the verge of this and you've been playing around. You've been going back and forth in matrix coping mechanisms, and then you've been coming back to trying to care for your temple, and this is your call to stop that. Get off the fence and go hard in on the person that you want to be. Stop dancing around it. Claim your sovereignty. Claim your expression. Care for yourself. Care for the planet, and let this holy fire rip through your life, because it might feel scary at first and it takes away things, but things that are actually yours is never going to be taken away, and it cannot leave you. So it's all going to be fine. So that's our north quadrant. Let's go to west here. Okay, so west we have the lunar queen, she of the celestial crescent. So if you've been to my channel before, if you've done a reading with me, you know that I talk about the moon. So the sun is important and the moon is important, but the reason that I focus more on the moon is because the moon, it's either like, again, human corruptions are in everything, but we're so pushed about the sun. You do need sunlight, of course, everything needs sunlight. You should be getting up in the morning and soaking in the sun's rays, but if you identify as a divine feminine, I'm not talking about your gender, I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about the predominant energies that you feel coursing through you and that you want to live. If they're feminine, you need moonlight. You need to go out in the new moons and the full moons, and you need to soak that into your skin. And knowing where the moon is in relation to its new moon and its full moon is vital. You don't have to necessarily do the houses if astrology is not your thing, but I feel like if you found this channel, you are loving astrology. But like knowing what house is in, what influences that's bringing down through the planet and the collective, it matters. It makes a difference. The moon is nature's calendar. I say this so many times, but it's so true. On my other YouTube channel, I have videos about this, but you literally, the moon is our calendar. When you attune back to the moon, because the Gregorian calendar that we're on now was made in the Roman days with the idea of population control woven into it, and that's why it was implemented. When you reattune to the moon, it pulls all water and gravitational forces on the earth, and instantly you come back into harmony just from 1 month of tracking where the moon is every day with your normal calendar. It's so powerful. And for some of you, the matrix has put fear inside of you and you're scared of the night. And this call is like a card to call you back to not fearing the night. And then there's other ones of you, so I guess what I'm feeling here then is like a balancing out of energies in connection to the moon, because then there's some of you that only like the darkness and hide in the darkness, and you need to come out in the daylight. So there needs to be balance in. So whatever you're overdoing, if you're being a morning person and you miss the moon, like, you know, I'm not saying you have to do it every day, but like when there's a full or new moon, get out there, like stay up a little bit later and get out there and get it on your skin. Go sit by the water if you're by the water and get the moonlight on your skin. It's so powerful. And then just reclaim the moon calendar. It's time. These moons have already been so intense and powerful. We just went through the 7-7 gateway. We're going into the 8-8 Lions Gate. Then in between that is July 25th, the last day of the Mayan New Year, between the 13 moons before they reset. And then there's the day out of time on the July 26th. And these are all really powerful gateways in transformation. And they have been like this since 2012. Okay, so the moons are literally reprogramming us. Yes, we're getting programmed by the sun too. There's a lot of light codes coming back from the sun. That's what solar flares are. But also the moon is very important to the awakening divine feminine within you. And even if you identify as a divine masculine, moon is very important to you because we need to balance both those polarities within us. Okay, so if you identify as a divine feminine and you're not caring for yourself, you're not able to financially care for yourself, you're always worried about money, you're always in these kind of aggressive transactions, or you feel like you're failing, you feel scared, you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck, that means your masculine is wounded. And also your feminine is wounded, because there's a surrender process, there's a dreaming process, there's an action process, there's a rest process, and it's supposed to go back and forth even within you, let alone in relationship, which we're not going to go into on this reading, but relationship plays out like that as well. That's why there's a divine masculine, divine feminine, and a lot of people are confused about this right now because society's confused on purpose. It's used the term male and female to enslave us, and that's why you see so much like transgender things and fighting right now about all of this gender, and you see all of these souls coming to the planet confused but also not confused, and they're trying to anchor something that's more freeing and more open, because our ancestors kind of interlocked us into this role of male and female that aren't necessarily true. Now, personally, am I saying like whatever genitalia that you were born with isn't real? No, I still believe in that kind of stuff, and I know that there's masculine, feminine energies in nature, but at the same time, I also know that there's a lot of us on the planet. There's a lot of light workers going on, and God has a plan, and whatever energy is coming predominantly through you, masculine or feminine, whatever you identify with, you still have to balance out the other polarity within you. Okay, and that requires self-love. That requires just deep introspection, deep inner reflection, meditation, yoga, movement, even in general, mindful walking. There's all kinds. You could try Buddhism, Taoism. Like there's all kinds of meditations. Like there should be no reason that you can't find something that resonates with you and connects you in. But the lunar cycles, they're about going inside. And then that's another thing. We're cyclical, but we're taught by patriarchal society that we need to be this way and fit in this box, and we need to act a certain way all the time. And like women should go to work even if they have their period, and it shouldn't change them at all. And like, it's not true. And we are very cyclical. And I think it's the 4 agreements. It's like always do your best. That's one of the agreements. And it's, you should always do your best, but your best will change because you go through cycles. And especially if you're really ambitious right now and you got all that holy fire going through and you've been doing all your spiritual work and you're just feeling so motivated to create, you might have multiple projects going on, and you really need to be able to charge up. You really need the fire and the guidance to come through, and that can come through connecting with the moon. But then the moon can also just heal you, can heal your skin, heal your digestive system. It helps to just drop you deeper inside in inner reflection and compassion. So it's calling you right now, and Isis, in this form of the Lunar Queen, she's talking about connecting back to the stars. How do you think they built the pyramids? You know, how do you think they built all these great wonders of the world? Because they were connected to the stars. And the stars, like the stars, the moonlight, also the sunlight, of course, but like think about when it's really hot. How hard is it to be outside? Really hard, right? So the moon, it's nice and cool. So lots of stuff was also built at night, right? Nights are it's just like the early morning. If you're a morning person, you're gonna understand when you get up in the morning, it's really quiet, no one's really around. The night does that too sometimes. Like there's still people up, of course, and there's still other energies, but the night can be like a really quiet time of creativity. And when you balance out both sides, you're gonna have like a lot more harmony and peace in your life. So the moons have been very intense the last even month, so this doesn't shock me at all that the moons are just going to even be more intense, more cleansing or purification. So drink lots of water, and make sure on a new or full moon, if you're acting freaky or lots of things are happening, you just slow right down. Try to be really patient with yourself, try to be really gentle with yourself, and just practice a lot of love and self-care as those moons come and go. I've been noticing that even the moons, like 7 days between the moons, have been really intense lately. So yeah. And then the dragon magic for the west here is the gold and silver violet flame dragon. And this one says, transmute the old around you with grace and wisdom. It's time for transmutation, magic, healing, offer service under grace. So what a beautiful pairing with this, because honestly, moonlight is silver. And etherically it's silver, and then golden light from the sun. And again, about bringing this in balance that I just talked about, lunar and solar energies. I talk about this in yoga and the science of yoga. So this dragon has come to help you. It's actually, gold and silver violet flame. So again, we got the holy fire purification. We got the violet flame coming through. So honestly, this is just Phoenix rising. Like, this is such a transformational time right now. So you really need to be so gentle with yourself. If you're riding the waves, if you've already learned to surf them, keep surfing up, keep going higher, keep building. Okay. If you're just awakening and you really don't know, this dragon's holding a butterfly, but it's in a protective circle of sacred geometry. So you are protected, you are unfolded, you are being brought to exactly where you need to be on your destiny path. There's so much angelic guidance around you, but you just have to reach out to it. You be open to it. Don't let it throw you, and don't run from it. Don't hide from it. I know there's a lot of light workers right now that the world is really heavy, and they're practicing a kind of form of escapism in their meditations, in their yoga, in their healing. They're just constantly seeking healing. For some of you, and you're going to know when I say this, if this rings true, you're done your healing. You need to start getting out into the world and acting and pulling that energy out. And some of you have just started, and that's fine. You go on your journey and you let that be in divine timing. No matter what, it's going to speed up for you now, because so many of us have already done it. Just like when I started, things were taking years to heal, and then all of a sudden it was 1 year, and then it was months, and then it was weeks, and then it was days. And now with all the quantum energetics also honing in on yourself, learning your abilities and skills, I can heal things in minutes, hours, seconds. So that will be another thing coming through this Western energy of the lunar cycle and the balancing of the masculine, feminine, gold and silver energy, is time jumping, time bending, quantum energetics. And that will be some of you further along your path. Now, some of you though that are just awakening, you might have had a really adept past lives. And because you're awakening during this time when so many people have awakened and anchored light on this planet, you might jump into things really fast. Again, like I said, everything's speeding up, and there's different timelines for people. And then the more of us that are awakened into our power and our clairvoyancy, we get to share that with the rest of the web. And so the new people waking up, that's why it can also speed up their timelines. It can also speed up their abilities. It can also speed up their growth. Okay, so let's look at East here. So we have East, Tai Chi rising, and golden Atlantean dragon. Okay, so wow, this is so beautiful. So I love Kuan Yin's energy. It's so feminine. It's so quiet. For such a long time, my masculine was so wounded in me, I couldn't even hear her. I would see her so beautifully, but I wouldn't be able to hear her because I wasn't listening with my senses. I wasn't able to drop below my mind and my conscious thoughts in some ways, although I was in meditative state. So obviously in theta, I was almost blocking it from myself by having such an aggressive masculine that was trying too hard to understand the spiritual and structuring everything too much instead of it just kind of being wild and free and soft. I was scared of the softness in myself. I was scared to receive love. So this is kind of what's talking through me right now, is what she's trying to do. So Tai Chi rising is your energy, your life force, your chi energy, and it's rising. It's rising inside of you, and it's that holy fire. It's coming through you. It's coming through you to birth your purpose. A lot of you that are further on the path are coming into your destiny points right now. You're coming into your divine timing. I shouldn't even say further on the path. A lot of you are just coming into that. And you're going to really know, one of the ideals would be, or one of the key factors that show you that you're coming into your divine timing and your destiny codes is you have been trying to create something or birth something for a really long time. And then either you kind of maybe gave up on it, or you're almost about to give up on it, and now all of a sudden it's taking off. Or you just have this renewed passion for it, and if that's coming, then that means it's going to take off soon. Okay, if it hasn't taken off yet, it's going to. So just don't give up. It's really coming through you. I've remembered my past lives in Atlantis and Lemuria for a very long time. That was part of my very first awakening. So some of you might be going through that now. If you resonate to Atlantis and Lemuria as starseeds, all of that energy stuff, a lot of downloads are coming through with Mayan past lives, Egyptian past lives, Atlantean, Lemurian. In the winter months of this winter and last winter, was really getting a lot of downloads and a lot of recovery of initiations. So something my guides and angels have been showing me lately is like, in our past lives, we meditated for weeks and months and years and days and hours and hours and hours, because we knew in this life we weren't going to have time. We knew in these modern times they were going to try to bombard us so hard with work and with everything in life that we couldn't do that again. So we did those initiations back then to lay the skill, to lay those initiations, to lay those attributes in our field so that we could energetically wake up now and go back and pick them up. Okay, so that's quantum energetics. You go back through your timelines and you go pick up those skills, and you will have to still do a slight initiation, the physical, to totally integrate it back into your body. But we did that on purpose, and we still have those skills, and that's part of that spiritual tech that you need to go back and pick up, and it's going to help your life improve. So like, what am I talking about? Well, languages. You know, my skin was breaking out. I was having such bad skin problems, and then I all of a sudden did some meditation, and I was guided to like start making my own skincare stuff. And then that led me on a whole journey. But as soon as I started doing that, I just kind of knew how to do it. And all these recipes came through, and like, or I would read a recipe and then I would just intuitively adapt it and it would be perfect for my skin. And then it started helping me know how to read labels and be able to use and align with conscious producers of skincare for this, especially the times that I'm too busy to make my own. And yeah, it's just, that's kind of one of the things you might pick up, like I did, remembering past lives from Egypt and Lemuria and Atlantis. You might remember and recover healing gifts you had. So I've been using those on my clients for years, and they worked, and they were just literally channeled in meditation, and those were skills that I was able to pick up again. So a lot of you have that, and that's what's awakening for you right now. And so like North for me is usually like attributed with your home, how you interplay in the world, how you show up in the world. What is your identity? What is your identity to your family? What is your legacy that you're leaving? Okay. To me, West is the mystery. It's the water. It's trusting the primordial depths from which we come from, and connecting to Creator and the magic that lies within you as a co-creator, and combining both of those things in sacred union of you with Creator, and letting that birth through your life. Now, then we replicate union with our beloved as well, but humanity has, again, interceded with so much of that, so much hormone disruptors, so much foods that are disrupting who we're choosing and keeping us away from our true counterparts. And I believe some of that's being unraveled in this, because I'm talking about it right now. But Tai Chi rising, east. East to me is like, that's where the sun rises. So that's the balancing of the masculine. West is the balancing of the feminine. And so east is like, it's where things rise and where things will sleep. And so it's the ending and the beginning of all things. And it is the heart. It is the cosmic heart chakra. It is the unification and the purification of your energy. And it shows how you're showing up to connect with all of life, how you connect with nature, how you connect with your body temple, how you express this love to the environment all around you. Okay. So Tai Chi rising is also about balancing. It's about fixing any of your chakra fractures. It's making sure your chakras are going in the right way so that you can actually ground in the best way possible to effectively birth your manifestations. Like, what did you come here to create? What legacy did you come here to leave the collective? What is your soul serving the collective? And this is talking about all of that. And then the golden Atlantean dragon is an etheric spiritual dragon, so it blows out light codes straight up, and it will literally help you recover knowledge, gifts, talents. It says reclaim your mastery, awaken. So it's going to help you with all of those things. Often when I work with golden Atlantean dragon energy, or any of these dragons really, you can just call on them in meditation, and they'll come forward to you, and you can just feel how loving and warm they are. And just remember, any beings, because entities do pretend and try to trick us, especially when we first start to awaken, any energy that is truly of Creator and love and God will never ask you to hurt yourself or another. So that's how you know it's real. But golden Atlantean energy, when you're sitting in meditation, you can literally just sit and work with it. They'll blow light codes on you, and you'll start having all kinds of rememberings. They can make grids all around you if you need protection. If you're an empath and you're in a harsh environment right now because that's where you've landed in the matrix and you're trying to work your way out, well, the dragon can help you, can give you guidance, can give you manifestations and visions and path forward and strength and new opportunities. Okay, so trying to collectively, there's just a lot of power rising on the planet right now. That holy fire, like I said, all of us, they're ones awakening, the ones at varying pathways. I mean, we're in the third major wave of ascension, and this third phase of ascension was supposed to be the longest, as far as I was told by my guides. And there's just so much power flooding through the planet right now, like power in the terms of love, real divine power, real divine fierce love, waking people up, ripping off the blinders. It's almost like sounding the alarm, like it's time to wake up, everyone. Like we need everyone, all hands on deck type thing. And so that's going on right now. So the ones who have been sleeping but are really good-hearted people, they're going to be waking up. They're going to feel called to this. And just from these things being in your field and your energy and active and conscious, they're going to create a holy fire that starts to awaken everyone. It's a heart fire. It's going to spread from heart to heart and womb to womb and perineum to perineum, and it's going to wake people up. And it's just a really beautiful energy. The purifications, the fire of it, this is like the integration of it. This is using your power with love. This is proper use of power with wisdom and knowledge. It's not unbridled power. It's not the power that we've been seeing in politicians. It's not abusive power. It's a different type of power. It's uncorrupted by humanity. It's not unwielded by humanity, but so politicians are groomed since they were born. Most people in power have been groomed since they were born to be a certain type of way, whereas this power is just natural. It's our God-given birthright, and when you wield it, when you have it active in your system, you use it with humility, you use it with grace, you use it with love, and you use it for the betterment of the planet. And no one has to teach you or force you to follow laws of integrity. They're naturally, inherently built into this power, and your heart is naturally open from it and guiding you with your higher self and your soul. So that's what's arising on the planet. And the east is also just about the integrations, the conscious integrations of the mysteries that come from the west. And then the north comes in and gentles everything, and it's almost like a root chakra, right? Like it balances you through your legacy, your expression, your family, your orientations there. And then we have south. So we have south, we have sensitivity. And this is south for me, as always, Mary Magdalene. These are my 4 core guides: Mother Mary, Isis, Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene. They're always with me, always guiding me. They're my core, although I have many angels and masters that I work with. They're my 4 core. And this dragon on the south is Thor's red, black, and gold dragon. Protects you in times of change, a rapid transition and transformation, relax, you're safe. So a lot of this energy that I've talked about, this Phoenix stage and everything, it can, especially if you're first awakening, it can be kind of very unnerving, and it can make you feel like you're going insane, and it can be I don't want to say flailing keeps going to mind, but you kind of flail through it a little bit because you just don't really know what's going on. Although there's a part of you that still trusts it, know it's necessary, you still kind of freak out, and then the mind is been conditioned to be somewhat immature or limited, so it gets scared and it makes all kinds of stories up, and you got to be able to work through that. And things are being ripped away, and people could be extreme as losing jobs. It could be really gentle transformations where you're just gentle challenges now. It's going to be varying levels of degree, but this dragon, red, black, and gold, is come to help you. And these are holy fires that come out. This is a physical fire dragon. Although there is a golden glow over its fire that obviously makes it etheric, because most dragons are on that other side, helping us from those etheric realms. But it's a really beautiful energy that just creates a bubble of protection around you at all times. So it's an internal bubble of protection, which means that any negative energies that you're transmuting within you are automatically transmuted in the field of bubble that it puts around you, and then it's brought out to the world in utter love and support and grace. And it's just really, really helpful when you look at this to to know that you can transform and you can be in that butter, I call it butter gel now, the butterfly gel, and that oozing, and you can just completely surrender and let go to your change and like allow yourselves to make mistakes, and know that you're protected. Although obviously always practice non-harm and try not to hurt yourself or others. Like that should be an obvious. I feel like if you found this channel, you're already doing that, but I guess good to have reminders. Sometimes we get upset, sometimes the world gets heavy, sometimes we walk into negative bubbles or pockets. And there's a place for anger too. There's a place for anger and aggression, but if you can bring it home, if you can scream in water, if you can beat the bed, kick the pillows, journal it out, universal letter, like if you can go to a break room, you know, where you can break all that stuff, like get it out if it's there. Don't pretend like I'm spiritual, I'm love and light, so I don't have any anger and I'm just gonna keep like breathing through it and working. Like breath work does work too, but like until it goes away. Like no, go get it out. Like get it out of your field, because it's not, depends how you use it, depends how far you are on your path, but it can be unusable energy sometimes that's just causing destruction and damage. If you're just awakening, there's a lot of guilt and shame and anger, then yeah, that's what I'm talking to you. But if you're further along your path, you know how to deal with your anger, you know how to work through things and use anger for usable energy that calls for change, then also go ahead and do that. Now during this time, you're going to be more sensitive. So when your site first opens, you could just be so sensitive. Like I've had myself and clients who couldn't even go to like hockey games. They couldn't go to sports games. They couldn't go to malls. That won't last forever if you're in your first stages of awakening. Now, for those of you that are on further along the spiritual path, you're still going to go through pockets of that. You're still going to go through places where your energy is so, just sensitive, because you're reclaiming gifts, you're reclaiming attributes, or you're reattuning to your environment, or your brain, your mind, your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body are attuning to your spiritual body. So you might still go through pockets where you're highly sensitive. Now, as you attune these things, sensitivity isn't the kind of sensitivity that patriarchal society mocks. It is the kind of sensitivity that just makes you really attuned to what's going on in your environment. It's going to open your clairsentience, your clairaudience, your clairvoyance skills. And it's going to help you to really be able to see the world. It's going to help you to really be able to see if people are lying to you. It's going to help you really be able to see through people's masks. Again, that can come with its own challenges, but know that you are never given challenges that you cannot handle. And as you up level, there will be new challenges. It is rainbows and sunshines, and everything gets more wonderful. Even if your challenges, well, they change, they have to, but it does get easier to bear because you got stronger, but the sensitivity is still there, and it should become a beautiful gift. Like I'm this frequency antenna of wonderfulness that can just cut through and slice through anything that goes on around me, and lies, and that again, it comes with its own challenges, but it's sensitivity is something I used to really loathe about myself, but now it's become one of my greatest attributes and skills, and I couldn't live without it. So remember to use the dragon magic. Like if you want to integrate more light codes, say you work early mornings, it's really hard if you get under the moon, you have the golden and silver violet flame dragon that you can be integrating into there. You have Thor's red, black, and gold dragon that you could be working with this month and asking for help to keep yourself protected in your transformation, and to just help protect you from the oversensitivity that the heaviness of the planet can bring on you. And then Rose is here in the Flower of Life, which actually before I started this reading, I actually felt like calling a Flower of Life activation in. So I did that to the grid, but I didn't do it on camera. So it's Flower of Life, circles repeating, manifestations now increasing, creativity flowing fast, the power of the universe vast, the whole within a grain of sand, manifestations form from this hand, with unconditional love so wise, uniting power of the earth and skies. Flower of Life, circles repeating, this energy grows through this speaking. And we make enough for all of you who are tuned into this reading, whenever you find this, that you get your own Flower of Life healing orb that will help you on your journey and help you on your path. Help you with your purification process, help you with your integration, help you make into usable energy and know how to ground from your Earth Star chakra all the way up to your Soul Star chakra. And so that's another thing I'm seeing really grounded. So walk in the grass with bare feet, of course. Hug a tree, touch a tree with your palms or extensions of your heart. Sit with your back against a tree. Have a saltwater bath. especially if you've been around a lot of negative energy. Put bubbles of light around you, especially when you're going into public places, or if you work in a place that has a lot of other empaths. Because if you have, say, an intuitive channel, where you are, say, a translator of empaths, because your intuitive channels intellectual intuitive channel is the highest, you're going to start sucking in all the things and all the energies that the other empaths are pushing down that they don't have the words for. You're going to start translating that, and it's going to be intense. And it's also a call for us to, I feel like July, all of this whole reading has also been pointing to, like, create strong energy boundaries. You are not a battery. You do not need to walk around and let everything and everyone plug into you. You can still do your healing work and help people and not do that. So claim your field, claim sovereignty in your field. On my other YouTube channel, I do have a rooting meditation I can link in. Plug in Earth Star to Soul Star, activate your crystalline auric field, put some layers of crystal over it, and your energy is yours. That is your sanctuary. 3 to 5 feet from your field, that is your home and your space, and no one needs to plug into that. You can fill it with Creator's light, and you can let Creator's light flood out of your field, and people can plug into that. Just doing that alone, you're doing so much light work and help for the planet. Okay, so I pulled these cards. Let's just see. Where we're going here. Okay, so for North, we have Otter Spirit. So this is your animal spirit helper right now. You are never alone. Otters, they are in sacred union and sacred harmony with each other. They're prioritize family, they prioritize legacy. You can also look up more otter spirit medicine later, whichever you feel drawn to, but these are all the current animal spirit helpers that are helping you. And otters come in to just help you to be more gentle with yourself, more loving, more affectionate, more playful. Like, spiritual journey, yes, take things sacredly, yes, be on your path, and it can just become really serious. So make sure you're just allowing that to lighten up, to freshen up. Make sure you're resting, make sure you're playing, make sure you're taking off the time that you need. I know a lot of us light workers right now are feeling that push really intensely, especially for further along our path. And I think it's picking up for all the ones, it's us picking up energy for all the ones who have yet to awaken. So we're holding a little more energy than we normally would, because we're bearing the load of people still waking up, and that's okay. We can all do it together. But make sure you're resting, make sure you're taking a break, make sure you're taking care of yourself. And that's what Otter Spirit has come to tell you. And also it says you're never alone. You are never alone. You are never alone. So if you're going through pockets of loneliness right now where you feel like you need certain things, go out and fulfill those needs yourself. Go out for a massage, take yourself out for dinners. There's a YouTube blogger, Tamkar, and she talks about solo dating, and she's freaking awesome. And she's really good with mindset stuff as well. So maybe if that resonates to you, go check out her channel. But Otter Spirit, you're never alone. And there's so many starseed light workers of all ages, and a lot of them are on YouTube, a lot of them are on the internet. There's so many people you can find, and there's so many ways to grow, and there's so much help out there, and there's so much people anchoring Creator's frequency right now. Go find them. And then as you connect with these people etherically or virtually, you're going to find more people in your physical realm. It's going to start to change your frequency, help you feel not as alone in the physical, and then your soul tribe is going to start to come in as well, and then it's all going to start to balance. Okay? I know I have a lot of starseed friends. Do they live in the same city as me? Not yet. But I still technology, that's been one of the most beautiful things about technology, is the ability to connect us starseeds all over the planet, because we are all over the planet, because we're anchoring light. We're pillars of light, anchoring light and love in dense areas. So just remember, you're never alone. You can ask Creator, you can ask Holy Spirit, you can have animal friends, you can connect to the sunshine yellow dragon, like that dragon, when you work with her in meditation, or however it shows up for you, him, I just get the most warm feeling of love and peace and grace. And when I'm feeling really down, that's the dragon I go work with. Just to kind of fill me back up with that innocence and that restoration, that purity that animals have when they love you. Skunk, know your worth. Know your worth. A skunk doesn't walk around, look at its reflection in the water and be like, man, I got a weird body. I got a weird shape. My color's all wrong. Like, why are you doing that to yourself? And like this lunar queen also, that's another thing. It's confidence. It's like transmuting the dragon here, transmuting the old around you with wisdom and grace. Like, let go of your old stories. Let go of what you've been talking about yourself. Again, I just love you too, because like I said, there's all whole kinds of star seeds on there. What's her channel? House of High Vibrations. She has amazing subliminals. So does Magnetize Yourself. She has like an app. Subliminals have been so beautiful. You can hear some frequencies playing in the back. Frequencies come from Atlantis and Lemuria and Egyptian times and Mayans. Like, frequency and sound is so powerful to help you heal. And when you integrate it with powerful statements and you listen to that before you sleep or throughout the day, like I throw on headphones when I'm working and stuff, and just I'm programming my subconscious while I'm doing matrix things, you know? So it's just so powerful. Frequency, sound, just know your worth. And if you need some help remembering, go out and connect to some of these things. Subliminals, frequencies, affirmations, but the affirmations need to be done right and they need to be activations. But know your worth. Remember who you are. You are a powerful being. Like, one of the girls I've been watching lately, or connecting with lately, she said, who's like little old me? Yeah, little old you, the most powerful vessel in the universe. Like, you are an extension of Creator. Creators put you down here to experience a part of itself, and you are co-partnered with that. But our society has taught us not to co-partner with that and try to have this hyper independence that I talked about earlier. And then you're not using your connection to Creator properly. And we have so much creational energy available to us that we literally cannot fail, but we've convinced ourselves, or we're smart in all this self-doubt and criticism, that we don't have that. And it's wild. But if you just change your thoughts and you just change some of the stuff and you change your subconscious behaviors, then you will know that you'll know your worth again. You'll remember who you are. If you could see your own soul, which I also recommend meditations with that, just literally sit down with your breath. Go look up some nice yoga breaths to make sure you're breathing properly with your diaphragm, but sit with your breath and ask to see your soul. And like, keep doing it until you see your soul. It doesn't always work the first time. And if you already know your soul, keep going within and uncovering different aspects, because every, so often my soul up levels again, or maybe reveals more of herself to me, and I'm awestruck again. And then I have this timeline jump, and like my worth just keeps improving from that. And the Matrix had me so confused when I was a teenager, so in self-loathing, so not knowing who I was. And as soon as I met my soul, that was the game changer. Everything changed. So if you're just awakening, do that meditation. Some of you already know what I'm talking about, but keep exploring more aspects of yourself. Go up and commune with your soul. I do it once a day, but like do it at least once a week, and ask for high-end guidance. Ask for your divine identity. Just ask Holy Spirit, ask Creator, what is my divine identity? Help me remember who I am. Know your worth, because how Creator defines you, how your soul defines you, where you came from, is completely different than this matrix structure is going to ever let you know you are, because they're trying to disempower us. Okay, so white raven spirit. So ravens are just so magical. I prayed over something today and I was outside, and literally like ravens came for like, 30 or 45 minutes, just kept landing so close to us and being like cawing so loud and singing, and like the vibration of animals and their sounds can atone and adjust your frequency. So also trust that around you. If you're around animals or out in nature and animals come around you, and you're not scared, of course, and it's a good frequency, like their sounds, their vibration, their very presence is going to re-atone your field. And so white raven spirit's talking about that. It's like, trust in the magic. Trust in the magic that Creator made us all with. We are part of an ecosystem of nature, and that was on purpose. Like, we all contribute vibrationally to each other. And so again, you can go into some reflection, like, what frequency am I emitting? What legacy am I leaving? How am I contributing frequency wise to the world? Because if I'm coming out and I'm acting a certain way on the outside, but I'm still, freaking out or angry on the inside, and I'm not processing through what I need to do, or I'm trying to make it be all rainbows and sunshine, and I'm not going to integrate my shadows and my dark side, well, you're not leaving a very good frequency to the world. So start to purify all that. And again, ask for the Holy Spirit to help you. But you also have the Atlantean golden dragon. You have all this dragon magic in the field. You have moonlight that has light codes. You have sunlight that has light codes. Like, download all of that and ask for help and ask for what you want. If you're struggling with these things, just ask for it. It will come to you, because we have all that power rising within us right now. We need to balance our chakras so it's rising properly. You need to trust in the magic that created you. The consciousness that codes a rose seed. When a rose goes into the earth, it knows it's a rose. You have that too. There's something inside of you that knows what you're already supposed to be, but it's buried under the matrix programming, which some of you are further along in getting through. I'm just going to put my water here to scry and see if I'm missing anything. But white dragon magic is also a blessing of miracles and manifestation. So this is a sign right now in the East that you are manifesting from the primordial depths. You're manifesting in alignment with Creator, with alignment with your soul. So things are going to start to be magnetizing to you. A lot of divine feminines have been really activated and awakened right now, and they've stepped through these karmic gateways and they've cleared these cycles, and they're actually become super ignited, super in their holy fires in a balanced way, and they are just going to start accelerating. Like, if those of you know what I'm talking about, but Rainbow Bright, and she used to be able to like run on these like star shoes things, and these little orbs of light would kind of come out, and like she'd run over the air, and then her horse would run on rainbows. Like, that's what's going on for you right now, type of thing. Like, you have all this etheric energy that's kind of just making you glide through the ethers and merge the ethers with physical reality. So get on it. It's beautiful. Masculines are just, they are too. They're going to get there. They've just been catalyzed right now. So if you identify as a divine masculine and you're watching this, this energy is going to be going to make you feel more cocoonish. It's going to make you want to go internal more, although you guys are physical expressions. So again, maybe you need that rage room, maybe you need to journal, maybe you need to get outside more, maybe you really need to go to the gym and pump some iron and move your body. Otherwise it could lead to a lot of rage and irritability right now as you process. And then emotional health, there's all kinds of apps and things now. There's books. You don't have to necessarily, although it's always good to do with support, you don't necessarily have to seek help openly. If you're embarrassed of that, there's all kinds of support you can again watch on YouTube. There's audibles, audiobooks to help you with your emotions and your emotional processing, knowing your attachment style. Like, these are all things that are going to help you that men aren't necessarily always supported, or anyone who identifies as a masculine isn't necessarily supported in awakening within them. And I just got that little download there. Okay, so another one, squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. So that's in our self house. And our self house is, to me, it's all the integration. It's all the energy, the light codes, integrating body, mind, heart via spirit. And so it's the house that rules all of that energetic integration into the physical for us. And so squirrel, believe in yourself. And it comes back to that Westlake I talked about. Know your worth, subliminals. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Stop holding yourself small. If you're struggling with money, if you're frustrated all the time, if you're in toxic relationships, why? Go inside yourself without guilt or shame and literally ask why. What are you getting from it? What payoff do you have from it? Why are you keeping yourself there? Because I guarantee you that your outer reality in this matrix world is exactly in correlation into your inner self. And I hate to be that guy, but like, I have to tell you this, like, you in some way are allowing this, believing in it, and keeping it in your frequency because you've buried it deep inside you. You haven't integrated your shadows. Okay, so believe in yourself. Why don't you believe in yourself? Why don't you think that you can do it? And then let go of the story, challenge the story. I'm no longer available for this. I'm disintegrating that out of my field, and that is not going to be my story anymore. Challenge it. Get into quantum energetics. Who else is really good at quantum energetics? Regan Hiller. She's got amazing meditations on quantum energetics. Okay, so believe in yourself. Get out there, get some help. Accept it. Accept that we're all here to help each other, and that it's okay to accept help, and that it's okay to seek some of these energetics that are out there. There's so many people in these awakening stages or further along the awakening stages that are sharing with you because of technology, and we're meant to share and help each other. And it's like a hand up. It's like if I go onto a channel that has readings and that girl mirrors something in my intuition for myself that makes me able to read stronger for myself even, yay, bravo, thanks sis, thanks for that hand up. It's like someone reaching out their hand and being like, here, take my hand, I'm gonna help you up here. Yeah, take their hand, let them help you up there. If your mental state is in more of a negative and you need to borrow the consciousness of another, we are living in prime times for that. Let it happen. Like, don't let someone take over your consciousness. Don't become like a cult follower. And yeah, that also came up for the collective today, is to be really careful in your spiritual practices of like following one person, one guru, one train of thought. Be very open-minded, because we've come down here to rewire the corruptions on this planet. And it's a very patriarchal thing to be like, this is my degree in this one field of study with this one modality. Like, no. Like, also it's going to release creative energy when you let a lot of modalities come through you, and then you start to work it into your own field and your own unique expression. Okay, so just take what is for you and what is not, and keep going. Okay, so the crystal that we could be working with here in July is diamond. And it's saying Ascender Master Babji and diamond, so shall it be. So what are you calling into existence? What magic are you creating? What stories are you letting go of? What are you believing in of yourself? What holy fires are moving through you, and how are they changing you right now? How can you use them? Oh, and diamond just brings clarity. It brings strength. Diamond is one of the most sought after stones in the world, obviously. There's different types of diamonds though that you can have. Like, you can see this is a white sapphire. It's pretty, it's got its own energy. It's got different, but you literally just call on diamond energy, this grid. This is the Ascended, what is this, Crystal Mandela Oracle by Alana Fairchild. This grid itself is so beautiful. This card deck is so beautiful. You can actually do a whole healing from this. Maybe I'll do it at the end of this, but it's just a really beautiful energy to work with right now. It's going to bring a lot of clarity. It's going to cut through anything that wasn't serving you or working for you. It's going to shine and reflect a whole bunch of light back into your experience, so that you can really see through the dark, and you can start to integrate into your being. Like, where am I keeping myself in the dark? Where am I holding back? Where needs light? Where does light need to be brought to? Okay. So diamond is the gem for July. Okay, and then I always like to pull and so I always like to pull so this is North Node and South Node, okay? And then we go North Node and, actually North Node, because I pulled that first, and South Node. Okay, so these are the kind of energetics of like, how do I connect to the earth more? How can I create a better relationship with Gaia? How can I bring my North Node and my South Node into balance, and what universal laws are harmonizing for the collective right now? So North Node you can bring into balance with the dawn. So new beginnings, accepting new beginnings in your life, accepting the new things and new opportunities that are coming in, and letting doors close behind you, using your proper grieving cycle. And oh my goodness. Connecting to a proper grieving cycle if there's some things that you're grieving that are leaving your field right now. But this is a new beginning for a lot of us. So in a Phoenix awakening, you might have just burned up and be starting over. You might be partway through your new beginning, but you just need to anchor it. And you need to remember that if you're in the 11th hour and you feel tired and you feel like giving up, it might not be the time, because dawn is coming and it's bringing new light to situations that were dark for you. And all of Creator's energy is coming through to help you. We have all this Tai Chi rising. We have the holy fires. Like, there's so much energetic, spiritual support. You just got to tap in and use it. And how do you do that? You ask. Ask and it is given. You ask and you will receive it. Okay? So you can literally say, like, I want to use holy fire, guides, angels, guardian angel, Creator. Show me how to use the holy fire in the best way for me, in my highest good. Okay? Like, simple stuff like that. And then just trust it to come through. Okay, so in the North Node, we're balancing with the universal law of emotion. So North Node is also soul star chakra. So we're learning to use I'll say it better. I'll say it different. Creator is rewiring your emotional frequency so that you are using your emotions properly, that you're using your emotions with intelligence, and that your emotions now become the compass of feeling frequency that it was supposed to be. That was a way for Creator to get you to move to what feels good and to move to create through your emotions. But our minds have been hijacked, taught us that it's the most important thing, and then now our minds confuse our emotions and we're misusing our emotions, but that's coming to an end. Okay, see how it's like dark and then it's becoming light? Because we're coming out of darkness into light. We're coming into victory. So some of you are really almost there. Do not give up. Okay, and there's just a lot of proper balancing emotions, knowing what you're feeling, knowing what you're needing, so that you're not running around spewing your suppressed emotions over everybody or freaking out over a tiny little thing. Okay, because that's what happens when you don't feel your emotions every day and you don't know what you're feeling. Then all of a sudden you have a trigger point, you get into a challenge or an argument, and bam, you're crying. You're not clear on what you're feeling, so you're not communicating it properly. Whereas if I feel my emotions properly on the day-to-day and then I have a trigger point, I'm going to be way less reactive. I'm going to be able to just own my yes or own my no and just know why I'm saying it. Oh, I don't know why I'm so stuffy tonight. Weird. Okay, so South Node, cave, sanctuary. So some of you, like I said, you're coming into your spiritual awakening. You're going to be a little bit more hermity. And then for other of those of you, you're coming out of your cave. You've already done a lot of hermit cycles. You have done a lot of spiritual work. You've been growing things away from others. You've been growing things on the side and the project. And now it's time for you to fully expand and leave the cave. It's time for you to go on a new adventure that is out in the world and growth. And then for some of you, it's time for you to nourish yourself in the cave, to come into the sacred caves of healing and grow. So you're going to use your intuition to know where you're at in that, but you're aligning with the universal laws of love. Love is Creator, and Creator is love, and unconditional love is loving people. Even if you don't agree with their choices, even if you can't agree with their perspective, you still love them. You don't try to control them. If you allow them to choose, you allow them to be free. And like that is real love that we've been convoluted about, or we've gotten so addicted to each other, or so addicted to the romanticization of like toxic relationships and like, I'll love you forever, like, which is fine, love someone forever, but like not to the detriment of yourself, not more than you love yourself, or even less, like love yourself the same, you know, and don't like put yourself out to abuse and martyrism and pain and like abusing your own body because you didn't get something that you thought you loved. That's not love. Okay, love just keeps growing and expanding, and if love asks you to let something go, you still love that thing that you let go of. You don't want to control it. You don't want to hurt it. Look at all the divorce on our planet. Like that's a perfect idea of like ego-driven addiction, love that is corrupted. Okay. Okay, so last two, the moons. You know me and the moon. We talked about it up there when we were talking about West. Okay, so last quarter moon in Leo. Leo season is coming. I'm so excited for my birthday month. But yeah, so quarter moon in Leo. So we're just gonna bring in a lot of lightness. Just gonna feel a lot more free. You're gonna feel a lot more confident. This energy of this moon that's coming in from now, I guess, until the last quarter moon in Leo. It's just asking you to play and lighten up, just like I said. Yes, do your work. Yes, take it seriously, but like relax, rest, play, have fun with it. Just healing can be really heavy. Don't get caught in a trauma loop. Ask Creator, like, what's the highest and best way that I can get through this cycle? Because I see so many light workers just excessively struggling with their money and like that. And I used to be one, but I literally put my foot down in the universe and I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm better than this. I know my worth. And this is like not okay. Like, I offer so much to people, and I'm such a good worker, and I'm such like a good manifester. I'm done with this cycle. I'm done with it. And when I put my foot down to the universe like that, everything shifted. Everything shifted. And I know that I'm never going to be in that place again. And so just look around and see where you can lighten your hold on things. Where can you surrender? Where can you just allow things to come to you, because what's yours will never go past you? And is there ways that you've just been way too rigid? You haven't been open to ideas. You haven't been open to creativity. You have all these issues, but you're not open to solutions. You're not open to help. You're not receiving love. Where can you lighten that load? What have you been carrying on you that's heavy? What's a burden? What's an old story that you need to let go of? How can you lighten that load? Okay. What can you off to Creator? You don't need to carry it. Even if you are a healer running around automatically healing people, which a lot of us do this, are you letting go of that energy at the end of the night? Or are you letting it sit on your field? Do you heal people and then feel completely responsible for that energy, even subconsciously? Tune in right now as I'm asking you that. And if the answer is yes, get a light tunnel over you right now and clear off all that energy and lighten the load. Let Creator take it. When someone comes, if you're an empath, that someone comes up to you and just starts spewing out their whole life story, put a light tunnel over you right away. And then just sit with it. And then it's not in your field. It's not in your frequency. You don't have to be worried about other people like putting the negative energy on you, because Creator will just take it. Okay, you are a co-partner with Creator. Creator is there to help you. We have spiritual tech. Activate it, use it, remember. That's what that moon's coming for. That kind of got fiery, that Leo energy. Okay, so last moon in Capricorn. Whew. Okay. Ooh, leaving the past behind. So we did just have a Capricorn full moon. So that must have been when it kind of started. And now we're going into the Leo, and that's when all these little lessons here will be integrated of the law of emotion, new beginnings, sanctuary. So there might have been threads of it starting, because although this reading is for July, like I said, energy has no time space. But this is kind of some of the timelines we are just going through. But you're leaving the past behind. You're letting go of old stories. You're knowing your worth. The moon is helping you cleanse and bring in all this new fresh energy. You're declaring your power. You're believing in yourself. Your sensitivity is rising because your spiritual power is rising. You got holy fires to amp all of that up and help you. You got the Atlantean golden dragon. Like, July's gonna be a fire month, you guys. Like, it's gonna be amazing if you just tune in, ask for help from these spirit guides. Ask for your highest and best good. Ask for your highest, best guidance. Trust that you're supported. Trust that these energies have your love and best interest in you, and they're going to help ignite things in you or clear things off, elevate your consciousness, and just support you. It's going to be a fire month. It's going to be a fire month. And you're leaving the past behind. I just feel like for so many of us, we've been carrying these burdens of the past. We've been carrying these old identities, these old stories, and we're letting them go. We're not carrying them anymore. We're like, nah, that is not me, actually. And that is not serving me. And I'm done with that story. And that's an alignment of love. That's a way of self-love. That's a part of making sanctuary within yourself. If the inner world inside of you is no guilt and shame and anger, and you've created this sanctuary inside of yourself, this sovereignty of peace, and you can always go into your heart, you can always go into your depths, because you are your own best friend, you are your own biggest supporter, you are in your power, and you are in unconditional love, because that starts within you. As soon as you start to love yourself, you don't want to hurt people anymore. You literally just start oozing out love to the world because you love yourself. It's really beautiful, and that's what I believe we're all moving into right now. Well, that was really pretty. So, if you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends. I love you. Thank you for tuning into our July collective reading. Go get yourself some diamond, a diamond crystal to help you get through July. Don't forget to connect with all of your dragon magics, animal spirit medicine. Look up those animals for more messages. And I will see you on the next one. Love you. Love and light. Be blessed.